Welcome back to the Fantasy Football Channel. It is Thanksgiving week. Happy Turkey Day to everybody. Get those lineups put together early and often. Know your players' schedules. We got football Thursday, Friday, Sunday, and Monday. Should be an exciting set of games on Turkey Day. Lions, Packers, go Packers. Chiefs, Cowboys, Bengals, Ravens. Adam, we've also clawed our way to first position and third position in the Big Tuna League. So a little bit of applause for us, right? We're making it happen.
Oh yeah.
Competitive
Oh yeah.
10 team to QB League. I'm also got to give myself a shout out for being top dog and clinching playoffs in Dynasty. So we are feeling good. Adam, how are you doing today?
Better now with you patting our backs over there. It's always a good way to start
We
the
got to
day.
celebrate these wins.
Absolutely. We had a great fun week 12. We're headed to week 13. This one's going to be a banger, folks. We got so many great matchups throughout Thanksgiving week. Today, we are going to go through a week 12 rundown after a little news. We're going to catch up on some injuries, get you ready for just many, many hours of sitting on the couch and rotting like a carcass as you undo your pants buttons because we got so much football coming at us. Kyle, why don't you start us out with a little news here? We got a litlittle update for the Buffalo Bills.
Breaking news. Buffalo Bills signed Brandon Cooks. We'll see if he's still got anything in the tank or not. Poor Keon Coleman just couldn't play out this year and step up as receiver one over there. And the Bills are just doing whatever they can to give themselves an opportunity to run at the Super Bowl is what I'm seeing here.
Yep, they're just trying to help out Josh Allen. He's playing Superman mode.
Help out Superman. James Cook is Superman's assistant over there as well. And I guess, would you call that Wonder Woman? Is that what you'd call that? Or would you call it Batman?
We'll allow it. I don't think he'll like Superman? It. Well, I think
all right. Let's call James Cook
Batman. Robin.
Batman. Okay, so then
you're blending.
Josh Allen is
shows
Batman.
Here.
James Cook is Robin.
That'll work.
Little Batman and Robin situation. Practice window opens up for Omari and Hampton, and he's a stash if at all available. Pacheco will play Thursday.
Yep.
Honestly, for fantasy, it was better when you could flex or RB2 Kareem Hunt with more confidence. Yep. So
usually you'd rather have one of those guys out of the game, but it's all right.
Baker, low grade shoulder sprain. I think it is a fade for me all season. If you have him, I would be looking at other options personally. CJ Stroud, JJ McCarthy, concussion protocol. CJ Stroud has been in concussion protocol for, I think, at least 3 weeks now. Davis Mills has filled in very respectively, arguably throwing better. Is that the reason they're holding him out for this much time?
You know, I mean, if it walks like a duck, if it quacks like a duck, I mean... Okay. It kind of seems like he outplayed it. And more importantly, what Mills is doing is he's getting Nico Collins the ball. He's forcing it to their superstar wide receiver, which is what you need to do. And right now he's playing better
sharp.
than CJ Stroud.
He's looking very sharp.
He is. He's getting the ball out.
He's finding open people. Good. Yeah.
You know, hopefully they're letting CJ Stroud watch some film and figure it out a little bit from behind the scenes. But yeah, I don't think he's concussed anymore. I think he's hurting, but I don't think it's physical pain. I think it's emotional pain for him right now.
Okay. Give us the rundown for today. What you got?
Are you ready? Folks, strap on in. We're running down week 12. Big things that happen. First off, go, Pack, go. Emmanuel Wilson, backup running back, 28 carries, over 100 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Absolutely ran through the Minnesota Vikings. Even better, Packers fans trolled Minnesota with a skull clap at Lambeau Field. Ouch. Ouch, Minnesota fans. Jahmyr Gibbs ran like a horse against the Giants. Over 200 yards, 11 freaking catches, 3 total touchdowns. Packers defense have their work cut out for them come Turkey Day because they got to slow that man down. The Bears? The Bears?
Leading top of the NFC
North.
The Bears?
Ben Johnson effect. It is real. It is real, folks. They're leading the NFC North. With that said, it is the Bears. So give it a week, and we'll see if they're still at the top of the standings here in a couple of days. Chiefs, Colts, it looked like it was going to be a cakewalk for you, but then came the big bad man in Patrick Mahomes, who brought the team back with an overtime victory and saved the Chiefs from going beneath 500, which would have been alarming. Cowboys defense looks much improved with their acquisitions, taking down a sad and lonely Philadelphia Eagles team who play the Bears this Friday. The Buccaneers got absolutely drone striked by the Rams. This was not even a battle. It was over before it started. And I'm going to go on a limb here and call right now, folks, the Rams are the most proven team in all of football right now. They can do it on all ends, offense, defense, and special teams. Offensively, Stafford looks bored out there because it's so easy for him to make catches with Puka Nacua
That's a good
and
way of putting
Devontae
it.
Adams.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. And then lastly, Devontae Adams came out and said he is having the most fun he's ever played playing football. I wonder how his boy A-Rod feels about that quote. Alrighty.
I mean, as far as the Rams, I can't disagree with that. Their defense looks pretty sharp as well. I love those two defensive ends. Oh my God, those guys are young and strong and good.
Yep.
The most disappointing thing is even though Kyren Williams is not doing bad statistically, he's just not getting into the end zone as much as he has last year, which is a little bit annoying. And Blake Corum is a little more involved this year.
Well, that's because their new goal line offense is, I'm gonna say, here's a lob pass to Devontae every time. No one can cover him on that man on the outside, so they just do a little fade and he gets it, and it's like 75% success.
This is back to like Devontae Adams looking like the prime best receiver in the NFL right now.
Yeah, you can't guard him right now.
But I mean, with Puka Nacua, it's hard to guard both those guys. It's a similar effect to what the Cowboys have with CD and Pickens, so Pickens shines there.
Yep. One thing about Puka Nacua, I got to say real quick, when they motion him across the field sometimes, they'll have him start his route in between offensive linemen. I saw this last week, and I was like, that is genius. You get that cornerback caught in the linebackers, caught in all that traffic.
Yeah,
I was
like,
wow,
running
really
like running
smart.
back routes with some extra speed and giddy up.
Yeah, and that was like, no wonder why he's always so dang open.
Yeah, it's good. It's good play calling, good offense there for sure. Did we talk about we're going to talk about the Niners now? Niners and Carolina game.
Absolutely.
If you didn't watch any of that, I guess the storyline was Jennings, the drama. Jennings got punched in the private parts by a Panthers defensive back. And then after the game, Jennings went and punched him. So right now the Carolina guy has a 1-game suspension. But getting back into the game, Bryce Young, has he done enough to look like the starting quarterback for the future of this team? Let me ask you that. 1
week yes and 1 week no. I'm going to respond with 2 weeks ago, he threw up 480 yards and broke the Carolina Panthers franchise record. And then this week against the 49ers, he puts up 40 yards in the first half. So in terms of consistency, heck no. But in terms of this is their guy and he's been improving, yes. He's been improving with tough people around him.
Is this
so
year
give him credit
3?
there.
Don't you? I mean, you got to see something from him this rest of the season to make you feel good about starting him next year, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, the 480 yards last week, putting up 30 fantasy points in week 11, that'll do it. That'll help for sure. But, consistency is a problem for him.
Yeah. All right. So question marks there. Everybody in fantasy obviously had higher hopes for him, especially super flex leagues this year. Brock Purdy, 3 picks. Was that in the first half?
He had 3
Those
picks.
were not good throws.
There was 4 interceptions in that game in the first half, 5 total. Brock Purdy did not. I mean, so he looked good outside of those picks, but those picks were bad.
Yeah, I don't get that. Mac Jones isn't making those 3 interceptions. That's for sure. Anyways, I do think Brock is has a higher upside for sure for the team.
Yep.
But man, you gotta fix those mistakes, Brock.
Oh, yeah. Juwan Jennings was looking slippery out there too. They could not tackle him. He walked into the end zone after 3 dudes were around him.
Yeah, and he's dominating the target share for the receiver room.
He looks like
very
the best
unfortunate for any Ricky Pearsall owners. He's done nothing. He needs to get more involved in the offense, in my opinion, especially when they're going to play, tougher teams. If they want to have a chance, they got to utilize someone else.
Well, before the year started, we and us kind of talked about how the 49ers receivers, they were all going in between rounds 7 and 9 because no one knew what they were going to do between Ayuk, Ricky P, and Juwan Jennings. And it seems to be Juwan is looking like to be the winner. Juwan is looking like to be the winner here.
Right now, yes. But I could certainly see this just being one guy eats on different weeks type situation. And then I think Kittle and McCaffrey are going to be the 2 consistent studs is how I look at it. I don't think Jennings is, talented enough to keep this up. But it's one of
I
those
don't
things
know.
where if you have him, he's certainly flexible and playable right now.
Yep,
And maybe matchup pendant. Whereas Ricky P right now, I think you have to have on the bench.
definitely. Put him on the
Um,
waivers for all I care.
yeah, or waivers pending league format. All right, let's get into some tough decisions with players right now. David Montgomery is at the top of my list. Two poor performances, and Gibbs has gone off, and Gibbs has just dominated. So obviously, you drafted Gibbs, you own Gibbs. This is what you hope for all season. Those of us with Montgomery owners scratching our heads here. What do we do? I have just moved him out of my flex spot in a standard scoring format and put in RJ Harvey with the injury to Dobbins and a better matchup for the Broncos this week. That is currently what I'm doing with it. So I'm expecting Harvey to have a better performance these next few weeks. Anything on Montgomery there, Adam?
Yeah, I mean, he's kind of touchdown dependent right now. Tougher matchup against the Packers. However, I could see this being a little zig and zag moment for the contrarian viewpoint where
I
Gibbs
agree.
just went off. Let's get Montgomery some carries in the red zone this week against the Packers. So I don't
I
know. It's just the
know.
contrarian viewpoint.
And I think matchup wise, this is probably what Detroit's game plan is going to want to be. They're not going to want to drop back as much with Green Bay's pass rush, and especially because
Mm-mm.
Goff has shown most of the weakness as of late under pressure and when he gets hit. So I think
Yep.
they're going to want to try and go between the tackles at us as much as they can. So
And I'm
game
pretty
plan,
sure.
I like it
Yeah.
for Montgomery, but what
I
we've
mean,
seen in
just
recent weeks and the defense, it's hard to trust it.
just to talk you out of this even further, I'm pretty sure the Packers kicked the Lions in the teeth when we first played. And
Yep.
I think Dan Campbell is going to say, boys, you better be ready to play Detroit physical football and kind of get your money back here. So we'll see, but
I
I think
know.
that's
I
going to be
agree.
their
I could see
mindset.
it swing either way on this one. However, I just feel like the RJ Harvey matchup is good enough,
Yeah,
and he's
no,
going to
I
get
think
more
on
of the work
paper,
with Dobbins out. I feel like I have to roll that one. I believe they play Washington, so
oh
I think
yeah,
you have to do that right now. Next
yeah,
up, AJ Brown. Is he back? 10 and 11 targets the last 2 weeks, 12 and 25 points. I'm expecting this kind of target share from him going forward the rest of the year. They draw some better matchups. I think they need to start just connecting and winning a few games again. They lost to Dallas this week after going up 21 zip. So it's proven they can't just run the ball and just do tush push. They have to get these receivers a little more effective here.
yeah. I think that's a good way to put it. In this Bears game, they're going to have to put up some points because Ben
I think
Johnson's going to
so.
have something for them. So therefore, I think this is a week you could definitely play them. Like you said, if they play a good team, play them. If they're not playing a good team, maybe hold off.
Yeah. I'm in PPR formats. I'm playing him just because receivers have more value. In the standard one, it's very difficult for me. I have him and either him or RJ Harvey in the flex right now. Baker with the injury, obviously he has outperformed the beginning of the season compared to what I thought. I think you were a little higher on him. He has been struggling lately, and this is kind of more what I was thinking his season would be. With this injury, even if he plays, I think he won't be his full self out there. Just the journeyman getting it done at all costs. So
Yeah,
if
I
he
mean
plays, I would temper expectations. And personally, I'm fading him and looking for other options, regardless of my format, the rest of the season.
he lost Evans and Godwin, so I don't put this on Baker. But yeah, he has faded compared to where he was drafted, but I don't put it on him as much as his realities. He's been throwing to rookie receivers all year, and he's done as good as he can with that being the
Yep.
situation.
Yep, I respect the man very, very much. Very
Yeah.
proud of what he's done this year. But for fantasy purpose, I'm especially fading him now if I've hung on to him in my lineup this long.
Yep.
Okay, who else do I have? Genty. That also goes the same with Bucks receivers. Unfortunately, I'm also fading them going forward, and it's been a great ride for Emeka Ibuka this year, especially rookie year. I just don't feel confident in him. Deeper leagues, he's probably a flexible option. I just don't feel confident in him or the offense right now.
Mhm.
Genty, I still think Genty has a bad offensive line and a bad offense, but the guy is so talented. He still is somehow averaging like 12 points in standard scoring
Just do
format.
volume.
This
Just
week,
do
he's got
volume.
not as bad of a matchup, but he does have some really difficult matchups. But he's also questionable. I think he's got some kind of a knee sprain, maybe. His projected points right now. I mean, as long as he
Good.
plays, I think you have to have him in your lineup.
Yeah, but that is one of the worst offenses in the NFL, clear as day.
Yep. Okay. All right. Some more opportunistic free agency scoops here. Trey Benson.
Opportunistic. Look at
Trey
what you said
Benson,
there.
if he got dropped at all, I think, and could be a guy to help you win a push here if you're poor at the running back. Him and Devin Neal as well. Devin Neal, Kamara is dealing with, I think, another knee sprain or ankle sprain. Looks like he'll be out for a little bit. And then, as I mentioned, RJ Harvey as well with Dobbins down. And RJ Harvey has some favorable matchups. So I think he could, any of these guys could be good flex or RB fill-in options if you're weak at the position to help you win a championship.
Yeah.
Any thoughts on those three?
Yeah, I like Harvey the most out of those. If he's available, if someone dropped him along the way, that's your best bet there. The Cardinals' offense has just been inconsistent and struggled. And, we'll see if they get Marvin Harrison Jr. back to help out that Trey Benson pickup. But yeah, other than that, in terms of, a quarterback out there that I know you got in your lineup, good old Caleb Williams has shown out this year. Not someone that's probably ever going to be high on my list in any year just because it's a Bears quarterback, but nonetheless, he has done well with Ben Johnson. You can snag him if you got someone like Baker or someone coming back.
He is
And Joe Burrow's coming back.
Caleb Williams is currently quarterback 7 right now.
That's
so if you're
impressive.
somebody that had Baker or Goff and in one quarterback league and he's still out there, absolutely lock and load him.
Yep. Yep. Amari Hampton should be coming back as well. I doubt he's available, but if he is out there, definitely snag him. It sounds like him and Vidal are going to be more of a 1-2 punch now because Kamani Vidal really proved himself while he had this time to do it. So I think that's going to be more of a 1-2 punch going forward. And then, a wide receiver that's starting to show out and starting to become the Packers' number one is Christian Watson. He's came back. He's battled with injury his whole career. And right now he looks like the Packers' best receiver. And so if he's available, you could pick him up against a Lions game that should have some points on the board.
Yep, 100%. I think he's become flexible. Let's get into some deeper leagues here. I think Jaden
How deep are we talking?
We're talking deep. We are talking deep. But I will say rookie Jaden Higgins for Texans has actually emerged as an option. Flexible, especially with Davis Mills as a quarterback. Last 3 weeks, he's had 15 points, 9 points, and 14 points in PPR. Deeper leagues, that's flexible. Another one, Andre Yosivash, with T. Higgins sidelined due to a concussion, especially if Joe Burrow returns. This guy's had 18, 5, and 10 points the last 3 weeks. One of those weeks, Chase was out. So I certainly think he is also another deep league flexible option. Adam, why don't you take the next two?
Yeah. Shimmerin DK for the Tennessee Titans. I don't know if I butchered his name or not, but he is an emerging best connection. Oh, is it Cameron? Oh, no, it's not Cameron. It's Shimmerin or Shimmeray. Just so you know.
I think you pronounce it like Cameron.
It is on ESPN. I pulled it up just so I wouldn't butcher it more than I already have my speech impediment. But Chimere.
That's just because you're from Canada.
Shamir. Yeah, we'll go with that. We'll say Shimmerin DK.
He shimmers out there. He does a little shimmy.
He likes to do a little shimmy out there. What can I say? But yeah, he's gotten a lot better with his boy Cam Ward. Last week, he had 7 targets, 5 catches, 40 yards, and a touchdown. So he's starting to wake up a little bit. That is really, really deep, like we mentioned in starting this. But then someone not as deep, Chris Rodriguez.
Especially in standard scoring, I would say, for Rodriguez.
He's not a ball catcher, but he is taking over the carries here for this Commanders team, and he is making that rookie look like there is something wrong with him. Bill Jacoby.
Yep. And then we mentioned Joe Burrow is expected to actually come back this week. I think we're all excited for that. See how he performs. There was one league where the family league, he was dropped. So I scooped him up as well. I don't know why he got dropped, but he did. And then just a few defenses I'm expecting juicy matchups for this week. Seahawks, Broncos, and Browns. I know Broncos play Washington. Seattle plays Minnesota with who at quarterback?
Don't matter.
The Browns play the 49ers, and especially if Brock Purdy is going to continue to throw to the other team. The Browns have a really good defense. So I think those are all 3 pretty juicy matchups.
Myles Garrett is going for the single season sack record here this year. He has the ability to take that and run with it.
Yep, for sure. What else you got for us, Adam?
Well, it's going to be a fun week ahead. Boy, is it going to be a fun one. 3 legendary matchups on Thanksgiving, and all of which are going to be awesome in terms of Packers versus Lions, Chiefs versus Cowboys, and Bengals versus Ravens, which initially wasn't going to be a good one. But with Joe Burrow coming back, he's got to put some pressure on that Baltimore team to keep winning, and it's a divisional matchup, so I love that. Friday, we got a little Philly versus Ben Johnson and the Bears. And that is the only team that ever gets announced by their head coach first because he is their superstar player.
Yeah. Okay. I'm expecting a little bit of points in that game. What's the Vegas points total for that Bears Eagles game? Once you
I'll
look
tell
that up.
y'all right now. Give me 2 seconds.
Um, Caleb Williams, I mean, he's had some dumb mistakes, but there's so much talent around him. The tight end, the rookie tight end, also deeper leagues tight end. He's a decent option at this moment, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But there's so much
Line.
talent around him. Like he's just going out there and slinging it, putting up points.
Yeah, he's got a lot of good weapons. Bears, Eagles, you got Bears +7. So Eagles favored by a touchdown, over under at 44.5. Bengals, Ravens, you got +7, over under at 51.5. Joe Burrow back.
Mm.
They're going to put some points up. I like the over in that one.
So,
Cowboys, Chiefs. Chiefs are favored by 3.5, over under at 52.5. And
wow, they're
then Packers.
expecting a lot of points in both those games.
We are going to have some fireworks in all of these on Thanksgiving because Packers, Lions favored by 2.5, over under at 48.5. So all 3
Man.
Thanksgiving games, 48, 52, 51. Expect some fireworks as you're laying there limp as a log, folks.
So, I mean, with that being said, I would expect good things. You got to think Christian Watson for the Packers has a high chance of getting some points, especially with what they're expecting here.
Yeah.
Do we know about Josh Jacobs' status? Is he back?
So he's been limited. I think they're gonna play him, but he's been limited, and with what he's got, like a bone contusion, I guess very painful. So I don't know. It's a tough one. I have not dropped Emmanuel Wilson yet because of it, but
Makes me
we'll
have
see.
second thoughts on David Montgomery with that points. But Thursday, I don't know if playing people on Thursday, but Thanksgiving has to be the exception. And
By the
then
end of this day, Montgomery, we're getting him back in your lineup. We're gonna talk you right out of this.
that's a tough one. RJ Harvey, David Montgomery, or AJ Brown. Oh, those are all
Yep.
tough. Standard scoring.
Yep. Standard. Yep. Yep.
um, and then Cowboys. I'm expecting a big day from George Pickens if they're projecting 50 points
That's
and
all he
Rasheed
put. That's all
Rice.
he puts up.
And Rasheed Rice, which by the way, Rasheed Rice looks really freaking good right now. Happy to have both those guys on the squad. So 50 points, that's very interesting to me for those receivers. And then Lamar and Joe Burrow back in a
Mhm.
matchup. That is also
Mhm.
sexy for fantasy.
Oh yeah. Yep.
All right, you
It's a
got any
great
final
lineup.
fantasies this week?
No, thank you NFL for blessing us with some beautiful Thursday and Friday football games as we hang out with our families and have a cocktail or two.
All right. Wishing everybody a happy Thanksgiving, Turkey Day. Thanks for tuning in to the Fantasy Football channel. We will catch you in the next one.
Yeah, buddy.